I mean, in pop culture, the movies that are being watched, usually stereotypically, men are usually in some dominant role and usually like glorified, and women not so much.
Like the people who are in, getting parts and roles in movies are really beautiful, traditionally beautiful, look, physically a certain way.
More just as like objects of pleasure to be there as a sexual object or just some kind of something to be manipulated in some way.
They just end up placing more value on women for like their looks.
The power of images, like within your self-esteem level, it's the more you're watching and seeing them, the lower your confidence level will be. People do have a hard time skewing what's real and what's not because you're learning your behaviors through media, and I think that there's a lot of movies that are teaching young people like what's normal, and then you become kind of desensitized to your instincts of what you actually feel is good and bad because you're being told something different.
It encourages those stereotypes, and the more like you're exposed, if more one person tells you something's that way and the more you see it, it's hard to like oh, this is weird, this is not right, even if you have those feelings like this is weird. I can just think of movies like Old School and stuff, and you'd see like people doing ridiculous things like in college, and you would want to go do that, and you're gonna think like college is like that, or you wanted to be like crazy, or I don't know, you just kind of like get ideas of like how things are.
I think there's some steps forward, like they'll have more women in CEO positions or more powerful positions, but then it's like one step forward, but then they're really rude or they're like aggressive. Sandra Bullock was in a movie with like Ryan Reynolds. I don't know what that's called, but she was like scary even though she was in that powerful position.
Now there's both extremes. Now that we have still the same women in like some really like objectifying roles, but then you have women in really powerful roles. So I think I don't think it's gone away, but I think now there's more just like a balancing it out.
Well, a lot of times I realize that it's like female comedians that will end up like playing stronger woman roles. I mean, like in Tina Fey's case, she's like directing a lot of her stuff, so she's gonna, it's not like some male director.
To be honest, I think if like you're having these conversations at this age of people in college, I think it's really difficult, to be completely honest, not to be cynical. Really like raise our children differently and like treat like our younger generation, like open them up.
Children to like gain like media literacy, so for them to be able to recognize that like there's these different portrayals and like it doesn't define who you are as a woman. I think that's what's most important.
Teachers, alongside with parents, need to be educating on what the influences of media are, and what they can do to get students to critically think about themselves. Because where we're going, if we don't get people thinking critically, then it's not good. I
don't know. I think that I'm glad that people are talking about this stuff. I think it's good and passionate. We just need better role models, better leaders. It's really hard to spark change when the people in power are setting such bad examples. So I think if we have more people in the positions of power that can change, then the more change will happen.